Hey Flo, how you doing? You're the first one here today. I just went live. I actually haven't slept very much, like 3 hours maybe. So actually need to plug my mouse into the computer. Usually when I start the stream, it's a little bit earlier than we announce it, so that we can create the links and stuff. So I'm a little bit behind on my setup. Okay. Yeah, I accidentally traded last night on that account as I was switching accounts, and yeah, there's a little difference, but nothing major. It's like $100 or something. If it was a significant difference, then I would have deleted it. I mean, if it was significant profit, I would have deleted it. Oh my god. Sorry, my phone is non-stop today. What have you traded today, Flo? You're live, right? You're on a live account. I can probably check myself, to be honest. Let's see. Flo. I think I saw your account. Yep, there it is. I see it. You have pretty good return on your account there. Congratulations. Hi SG. Hey AJ. AJ. You want to trade with you? Yeah, I checked your account. You trade quite a bit though. Maybe it's best to chill. I don't know. You know your strategy better than I do. I'm once again torn because my rules for this challenge and what I would instinctively do are two different things. Yeah, I can see your account flow. I have the server up. But you have a nice return, so good for you. I'm happy for you. We actually paid out a guy today like 18 grand or something too. It was his payout day. I'm all congested. I'm stuffy in my nose. I've slept like 2 hours because I was up all night with a server thing. I'm gonna give it another shot today. Like, yeah. We'll see how we go. I gotta obey the rules of the challenge and try and claw back a little bit. I'm actually tempted to trade fading style instead of one position style, but have to have a think about it, because yesterday my gold would have hit my target if I stayed in and didn't over trail it. Where, Jesus, here it is. I was long in here. If I didn't trail it, would have been happy days, but I definitely don't have a good radio voice today. Different. I'm waiting for Yavuz. Grab the stream link. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the setup today, so please bear with me. Putting the announcement up. Discord for you. Okay. Why didn't that? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, that's done. When does the next challenge start? We will start doing the opt-ins from probably Tuesday next week. I have to write up all the content and stuff, so that will be. Still deciding whether or not we cap it at a certain account size, or whether we just go, okay, all account sizes and the reward is of your account size. So if you have 100K, your prize is 100K account, so on and so forth. Just refund the thing in phase 2. But let's see. I'll have some coffee and try to figure it out. Hey Rehan, hey Eric. I'm good. How are you? I mean, that's kind of a knee-jerk comment, right? I'm good when someone asks, how are you? The truth is, I haven't slept and I'm congested, but otherwise happy. Flow is genius. Yeah, could be. GU longs. Maybe it's possible. Long up there, maybe. I don't know. I don't actually know why I don't think I'll be trading GU today, but draw it up anyway. I actually wonder. EU looks nice too, but it still could dip. It's kind of a head and shoulders, but not really. You still have your sinus voice, man. Dihang, I've said it I'm gonna say it one more time. I've slept maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 hours, and I am feeling a little bit tired. I had to watch the Gambler trading their account last night because they took on a huge amount of risk. So I was up most nights, and yes, they did lose. Before you ask, what are the blue lines? It's just like an area of interest, where this is like a area of interest in the market. I'm new to this platform, didn't get any account yet. What do you suggest is best? Which account should I go for? It depends on your trading experience. If you're a good trader, I like evaluations. I really like them. I do them at other companies as well when I have the time. So that would be my choice. But if you are experienced and you want like that instant gratification of payment in a week, you use Accelerated. If you're new, then Rapid is probably for you. Seems like a zone of liquidity. Yes, that would be one way to describe it. It's low time frame though, so it's just a zone where the market sort of bounced. So low time frame liquidity. I don't know if I describe it like that. Yeah, I made the account number. That's why it's cool. It's on the top end of our book so that it doesn't interfere with the other accounts. Do you watch all accounts? Like you said, you had to watch a Gambler, or is it just people that use big lot size? I do watch all accounts as much as I can. I will only stay up late if someone is doing high risk, right? Because I have to sleep, and someone else will call me if the high risk is when I'm asleep, and I'll wake up. But yeah, I had my eyes on that particular person too, so I was more making sure everything went smoothly with the execution of the trades and that type of thing too. Can you add another column in the leaderboard % profit? You can ask Evos to do it, yeah. I'll try. It's already a bit of a pain to do the leaderboard, but yeah, we can add that. Hello Josh, have a great day. Today's your day. I have a feeling. Thanks, Shub. I hope I said that right. Hey Josh, if I want to use an EA, do we have to submit the source code to you guys? Can I describe the strategy to your stat? You can use it on evaluation without sending it to us. You can't use it on accelerated at all. So statistics alert I posted that is it normal that a trader opens so big lot size for 3K over 200 lots? No, it's not normal to, like, my argument with that is that they're literally trading the market, right? Because that much volume is bigger than the actual market, so we have to fill it with dark pools and stuff, and at any moment those types of liquidity providers can say, hey, I've had enough, goodbye, and you miss out on filling the order, and it becomes problematic. What's your thoughts on US 100? Strong support level. Yeah, yesterday it burned me. I was looking at it in depth last night because I got burned yesterday. I couldn't really let it go. I don't normally trade Nasdaq, but my concern with these formations that they're making right now is that it's going to continue down, and I'm not familiar enough with Nasdaq to say confidently that I can trade it. It could go up today. This in the 4 hour, this is very, like, to me this looks very weak. So it could go up. If it does go up, it will be not like a brand new all-time high, but I think that it'll come down here somewhere, in the longer term outlook. I'm quite mixed in the market at the moment. Last night I was long on US 30. It worked out, but not on this account. My sinus still hasn't cured. No, it hasn't. And so I have a cat who I love and play with, and I'm allergic to cats too. So that makes life even more difficult. S&P and US 30 are piercing highs. That's when S needs to catch up. I don't think that they're fundamentally correlated. That is the assumption that I have made after getting beaten up yesterday by Nasdaq. I don't think that. I think Nasdaq, there's a different element to it. It probably has more to do with earnings than the other two, which would be more sentiment based. That's my assumption. It's not a fact. It's just an assumption. Summer doldrums. Yeah. Just completed my phase 2 and now got to finish minimum trade today. It's gonna subscribe. I love this firm. Can't wait to do a good business. Welcome, and I wish you the best of luck with phase 2. Enjoy the minimum trading days rest if you're taking it easy. I often get traders who, during the 10 days minimum, they still trade full size and violate, and I guess that's a test of character, right? Gold. Let's have a look at gold. See, gold is, yeah. I still, as I said in the last few streams, if this bar let's re-highlight it. I think I deleted it yesterday. If all this wasn't in the chart and it just sort of went like that, I would probably say that gold is bullish today. But because of all this mess, the price action is off, and it kind of wiggles around a lot. It's like people were chasing that same mega dip. And they're like, oh, it's going to do it again. Well, it hasn't, obviously. So, Um, the worst part of gold for me is that I traditionally, personally, I don't trade tight stop. Like I don't have tight stops all the time. Um, and so when I'm doing this stream, I try to be tighter. And so now I'm going to be a little bit looser and just close at discretion instead. What do you mean traders trade full size about their phase two in value? Okay, so they pass in one trade on the first day, let's say, and then they continue trading the same size. And then the next day they break the daily or something like that. Can you use EA for risk management on accelerated? Yes, you can. You can use EA for risk management or trade copying, and that is it. And I do know whether it's, I can see the difference. So we have paid and removed some accelerated accounts who were trading with scalping EAs, for example. We said, here's your money, here's your profit split, please leave. Or at least go to evaluation. We do it politely, obviously. I'm tired, so that's why I sound grumpy. Oh, my phone doesn't stop going today. This is the one in case okay. I still have 30 minutes till market open. I do want to trade Dow today. So we're probably going to be trading the Dow. Hopefully we can claw back $1,000 or $2,000 on the account. I am going to start all my trades with a 50-point stop loss, and I'm going to zone in my stop loss as the market moves. Okay, so when I place my stop loss, which is there, you know, if the market spikes, at least I'm safe, right? When I zone it, when I put my stop loss, you can cringe, but understand that that's like a emergency stop. It's not a, I'm just gonna hold it until it hits its stop, right? May I ask why you aren't allowed to use EA on accelerated out of interest? Because it's a live account without an evaluation, right? So we can't tell how someone's trading. So if someone bought a 50K emphatic account and they used a cheating method, then we would have the problem of having to deny them payment, and then they would go to the forum saying, these guys don't pay us, these guys don't pay us, and then we would spend a huge amount of time trying to rectify that falsity, right? They would spread the propaganda and we would have to go and correct it, and it's a lot of time and effort. We have the evaluation there. If EA users want an account with us, jump on the evaluation. If your EA's working good and we'll have enough data to see that, then by all means we will give you a live account to trade on it. And maybe if you've done an evaluation and passed, then you can approach me for an accelerated account too, and I can maybe give you a special approval. But yeah, 5K loss, you're gonna have to up your game, man. Yeah, I know. Morning, Himbo, if it's morning for you. Yeah, so we are flexible. It's just that we have to also protect ourselves, and rather than chase the issue, we prefer to just prevent the issue from happening to start with, and make some exceptions if people are performing with us and if the order flow is of interest to us. There's a guy, for example, who he is scaled up, I think 6 or 7 times now on accelerated, and he contacted us about weekend trading, and he's obeyed the rules every single week since he actually got the accelerated account pretty much the day they were released. So we looked at his orders and how he trades, and there's no risk to us on the weekends because the trades are so small. So we said, okay, since you've been with us for so long, you can use the weekend trades. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I think that I don't like it when the market prematurely moves before open. It makes it very difficult to enter the market, and it's kind of what's going on right now. Okay, cool. Basically become an ATM and MFF will give you a green light all the way. Kinda, yeah. Do you give strike for copy trade or is it permanent bet? No, anyone can copy trade, it's fine. And copy trading is really easy to identify, so it's not a problem. Yeah, I'm glad you like them, Unum. Some people have sent some negative feedback about it, but that's all right. There's always some stick in the mud, right? I just wish that I wasn't so tired, to be honest. I am exhausted. I do have my coffee here though, so that'll save me. Yeah. Who wants to tell me what the employment figures were this morning? Which session do I find the best? It's New York, because then I don't have to do weird hours. But if you're trading FX, London is always number one, because London has the FX liquidity. Let's see the news here. The news was flat, I guess you could say. Copy and evaluation is allowed. Yes, it is. Absolutely. You can go ahead and copy trades, and when you have your total equity with us is 600K and 300K accounts, you can copy. Alfred Nana Hammond, when are you interviewing your profitable traders, just like how FTMO on your channel? We potentially will do it tomorrow, but I don't think so. I'm trying to figure out the infrastructure for that. So with MFF, myself, for example, and Murtuza, we're very, very far away from each other. Well, not that far away, but we're far away. He's in Canada, I'm in the US. And so we don't have a green room. FTMO have a green room. So with a green room, what you can do is you sort of set up a little mini studio type of thing. And with that, you have infrastructure to do more things, whereas I'm streaming with my laptop. What I would hope to do is somehow integrate like a Zoom call in here, where we have a Zoom call to interview someone and sort of make it look pretty. So I'm working on it. We have a bunch of traders that we've done more written interviews. I think we have 4 or 5 more to post on our blog. We're doing weekly meetings too, with Murtuza and I, and sometimes other guests as well. And we're gonna go from there. But one of the things we don't want to do is greatly increase our website traffic, because we want to maintain our systems so that you guys have a good experience. We don't want to, destroy our systems. Yeah, that's right, man. Just trade opposite me and you'll be good. You should have let your gold trade run. I know, and that was one of the first things I said this morning, Hussein. I said exactly that. I said I should have just let my stop loss stay where it was. Didn't strangle the trade and let it go. I would be in a completely different spot right now. Do you trade like us? I don't know how to answer that. I assume I trade similarly to some people. But my job, my actual job, I don't. I trade based on risk, not on analytics of the charts. Forecast of what 6? Yeah, I saw the news. It was flat, kinda. I mean, PPI is never really that important. I was more interested in unemployment claims, which were underwhelming. What do you say is a decent return per year on your personal trading? Anything above 0%. If you can make money, whether it's 1 cent over a year, you're on your way to making it. Most people who do huge percentages per year, they don't make it to a year. Yeah, I mean, we already organically get a huge amount of traffic growth every week, which is very, very hard to maintain. And you guys probably feel it. Sometimes our dashboard has problems. We're fixing them constantly. And we have a huge infrastructure behind that. It might seem like something a little amateurish, but if you understood just how much infrastructure is behind it, you would go, oh, okay. There are some very expensive pieces of equipment holding that dashboard up. But yeah, we're from the front end, like support side, I think we're okay. The back end, the next task is to finish the automation, which hopefully somewhere around the end of the month, early next month, it will be finally finished. And then when that's built, maybe we can increase our marketing presence quite a bit and grow more. We are thinking of a lot more community activity like the MFF versus trader, but obviously not just that. You know, maybe even one-on-one jewels and stuff. We'll see. What changed, man? Last time I asked the guys in the live chat, they said EA copy trade and copying from other accounts, not MFF, is not allowed. Who said that though? Because that's not correct. And sometimes when our back end guys are on chat, sometimes they're a little bit misinformed. Hey bro, any update on CTrader? And also, what's the rough time for TradingView integration? So we hired a specific person to do the TradingView integration, and probably he will be responsible for the CTrader as well. He starts on the 23rd of August. The TradingView integration won't take long. The CTrader takes much longer because connecting the liquidity to it is problematic. And they have to accept it. So we also have to, do those negotiations and finalize them. But TradingView definitely will be short term. CTrader will be more long term. The TradingView integration is just a connection to our MetaTrader GUI, so it'll send the trades through the MetaTrader admin system. It's it is what it is, right? Global Prime isn't a liquidity provider. They are a broker. Their liquidity provider is, well, they got two. They got Gleneagle Securities and Integral. What is a CTrader? It's a platform by Spotware, I believe, and they are owned by FX Pro. And FX Pro also owns my FX book. Man, the Dow's gonna pop up. And now I'm conflicted. Do I buy it or not? How big's that? 36. All right. 4 minutes to open. When you meet your trading objective for, let's say, after 3 days, do you need to open trades each day to get the minimum 10? Yes, you do. See, that's not as nice as the Dow to me. The Dow looks pretty spot for, like, look at that. They're waiting for the open to long it, but it's going to be spiky, and I hate the spiking. We'll be able to open multiple positions, or will it just give us an average cost? I don't know, actually. I should check that. Can you please explain how exactly max daily drawdown is calculated? So at 0000 this time, here, market watch, see, you calculate 5% of your balance and your equity, and then that's how much you can lose on both. Very simple. I actually designed an indicator which I'll release to everyone very soon. That people can put on a blank chart, and it'll say like the daily amount available. It'll reset at 0000 each day. Well, so long as you put the time in the indicator settings right. That way you guys won't need to use your brain to do it. It'll do it for you. I did design it, but it had a bug for the balance. The equity worked fine, but the balance didn't, so I have to fix it. I don't think Nasdaq's going up. I really don't. So, good luck, Flo. Took a 5-minute long on US 30. Yeah, I want that too, I think. I just don't want the spike. Like, the market's gonna open and it's gonna mess around, and the trend's kind of tight, but it's a new fresh cross. Okay, you convinced me. I'm going to that's my stop, and I want, you see every time I open a trade, it goes against me. Goes against me. That's all right. I'm wide on this one, so I actually want probably about 100 points. So let's put 100 points in here, and then watch them stop me out at open. Yeah. See, this is why you have an emergency stop. I didn't even have time to do it. Yeah. Copying from other, oh yeah, you don't copy signal providers. You can't do that. That straight to my stop. Yeah, lovely. I would say to the T, hit my stop. That is atrocious. That is absolutely atrocious. And that's why we don't trade outside of open. That's all right. I feel like I need like a violin to highlight my pain of doing this MFF versus trader thing, which I originally really didn't want to do, but I'm having a good time talking to you guys. Is 5% higher than 4% and lower than 6%? That is a word jumble and a half. Don't confuse me. I haven't slept. Now my coffee is cold. How to lose your account in 1 minute. No, I'm not doing very well. And I knew that that would happen to be. You heard me voice it. I'm like, the market's going to spike. 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 And then it spiked. And of course that happened, right? I said it. Like, I said it, and I know my rules, and I know how it works every day. The Dow does exactly the same thing, but here I am chasing trades and failing. So that's just part and parcel of life, right? Is MFF and other online prop firms making profit from people paying for accounts failing and paying, or from profitable traders, or from trading against losing traders? Neil, the answer to that is all of the above. I don't know. I can't speak for other firms. Let's put it this way. I would be lying if I said that we don't make money from failures. I mean, that's kind of the obvious one, right? Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that if someone fails, then the money comes to the company. Great. That's what pays my salary, or part of what pays my salary. The second part of your questions is more complicated, right? So from profitable traders, yep, we make money from profitable traders, absolutely. When a profit split, especially when someone has been scaling and everything on accelerated, when the profit split happens, that's great for us. Trading against losing traders, we don't do too much of that, but we do some of that. I would be lying if we didn't. We don't do it in a non-execution way. We do it in an execution way. So their trades are not messed with. It's all kosher. We also make money from things like volume and the sale of the volume, if that makes sense. There's a whole bunch of methods we operate with. I can't speak for others. I do know that there is at least one firm out there that does similarly to us, because I actually know their liquidity provider personally. So I do know that they're executing at least a large amount of volume. I don't know if it's all of the volume, but large amount. So I do think that long term this industry will last, and it's not one big giant scam, but as some people like to highlight. But yeah, as I said, I can only speak for us and what we do. Volume and sale of volume. Okay, so your spread and your commission doesn't change, right? So, well, it can change slightly, but not. It doesn't change heavily. When we have a huge amount of volume in our order book, we can say to someone, hey, the amount that you charge us for liquidity and your spread, you need to give us a discount on it. So the user, like you guys, may not see that discount. We might take that discount. When the discount is big enough, then we will pass some on to the user as well. It's kind of like how a broker works, I guess, because a broker as well, right? So let's say that you're at a broker with a 0.1 spread on USD, and their commission is $5 per lot, right? The spread at the liquidity provider is probably going to be 0.1 if they're offering 0.1, or 0.2 maybe, if they want to be competitive. And then the $5 is for everything else, right? So you got your profit margin, your liquidity, and everything else. So what the broker's job is to get what the liquidity charges per lot down as low as possible, so that their profit margin increases more. And we do the same thing, right? So every 20 to 30,000 lots or so that we get, I will go and shop it, and I'll try and get a better price. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it depends on what pairs are traded and everything like that. But that's how you profit from volume, because we don't pass the discount on, and the discount's usually negligible. It's usually like 40 cents a lot or something like that. Like if every week or every month we were changing our commission so to match what we're getting from Liquidity, you guys would have a panic attack, I'm pretty sure. This week it's $1.80. Next week it's $3.50. You know, like you guys would have proper mental breakdowns about it. I think COVID fears did that to the Dow. I don't think so. I think that it's a bit cooked, but I still think it's going to go up. I just think that the smarter Josh, who has more sleep and no audience, would have not entered that trade yet. Wow, the Nasdaq actually did break down. I should have shorted. I said it was going to go down. Anyway, I don't think I'll ever trade Nasdaq again, to be honest. The thing is, gold's down and share markets are down. Last night we had a guy make a killing on the French index. Maybe we should have a look at that. Let's have a look at the French index. It's the CAC, isn't it? Isn't that called the CAC? Oh, that's why. Straight up. That's why. Okay, good for him. Happy for someone who can identify these nice trendy moves. It's great, I like it. Why is accelerated emphatic threshold so high? Threshold on both accounts is 2 times drawdown. So that's how we calculated it. So you get a 10% max drawdown on emphatic, therefore you have to make 20% before we double your account. And you also get paid, so you know, you get doubled and paid. There you go, I'll sell it to you. You get doubled and paid. What could be better? I'm not watching the market properly. I do still think I don't know, that PPI data kind of sparked more inflation rubbish, could it? On the cross of the 50 and the 20 of the 1 minute, I'm going to buy and lose. So prepare yourselves, everyone. Can one have 3 accelerated accounts and 600K of evaluation, or 600K? You can have 3 accelerated accounts and 600K of evaluation. Hey Josh, if I have the evaluation funded accounts, do I have to combine, or can I keep them split? You can keep them split, you can combine them, so long as it's 300K max per account. Like that's the deal. You can keep them split up. I would be very angry if you had them split into 10K accounts. That would really bother me. But I wouldn't say no to it. If you had 600K separated into 60 10K accounts, I would just be upset. I wouldn't say no. Where are you guys getting such big amount of money to fund traders? Is it from investors or from traders' registration fee? We had investors in the beginning. I mean, we still do technically because they own part of the company. But we don't need to use the investment capital anymore because of the profit of the company. That being said, there is something that people need to understand. If you have 10, 100K accounts, you don't need $1 million at Liquidity because the traders don't trade at exactly the same time. And sometimes they trade opposite each other. So if you buy and someone else sells, we don't need the Liquidity account to be covering that because it's hedged naturally from our trades, which is nice. As MFF, we pride ourselves as traders. Yeah, we pride ourselves as traders. And right now, I'm filled with shame. What is my outlook for US 30? I think it's going to go up, but I am holding off until I get a confirmation signal because I already got smashed by that spike. And I'm not prepared to be smashed again. And thank God I had an emergency stop in. Although if I had no stop, I would be in better condition right now. But still, emergency stops, they work. If we use trade copy between accounts, we need to notify it first. No, you don't. I can see when someone uses a trade copier. It's fine. It's when someone's using an execution EA on accelerated that I will get cranky about. But yeah. Hey bro, maybe you don't understand my question first, but it says it copy trading allowed if I'm copying from other person and not my account. Copy trading is allowed from your own account, right? So here's the thing. It is hard, very hard, unless there's a big group of people. If there's a big group of people trading exactly the same, it is hard for me to tell where you're copying a trade from, right? But the purpose of prop trading is that trading is your own skill and not someone else's skill, right? So whilst it's hard for us to tell if you're taking signals from somewhere else, we don't recommend that you do because first of all, most signal providers are bullshit. And secondly, it's not your own skill, and the purpose of prop trading is your own skill. However, you do you, boo, and see where you end up. If you are trading identically to 100 other people with the same comment in the comment section of the trade, then we'll have to have a conversation. How does a person merge accounts? You email, if it's evaluation, you'd email evaluation, or when you do your payout, you can ask billing. You can contact our support team and they'll put it into our database to request the merger. There's no problem. Hello, I passed my phase 1 and I'm still waiting to hear back from the provision team. It's been 24 hours. Is there anything I can do? Phase 2 takes 48 hours. If you don't get it within 48 hours, go to our support team, let them know, and they will go to the back end and make them send you the details. But make sure that you check your spam folder because sometimes the email gets there. Time to short US 30. Is that because I want to long it? I think you want. Yeah, I think you're trolling me now, believe. I mean, look at that. Look at that. See, when these spikes happen, our support chat is filled with people accusing us of manipulating their trade. So maybe I should go to support and say, hey, MFF, you purposely stopped out my trade. How do I get an extension on my evaluation account? You email evaluation at my Forex funds. You make sure that your account is in good standing first and that you have proper risk management. So you have stop losses in place, your lot sizes are reasonable, and it's just a matter of time to pass. If your risk management is odd, you'll probably get a reset instead of an extension. Wow, the guy who said short is probably right. Good for you, Believe. Good for you. You may be right. I don't know. I don't want to get in the way of that, so I'll wait for pullbacks and stuff. I'm tired of losing, to be honest. Email myself and complain. That's exactly right. The 5% drawdown rule is, people make it more complicated than it is. Yeah, so you're the guy that Liana came to me asking about, huh? Okay. You can copy and go for it. It's just recommended. You don't use signals and stuff like that. You know, it's bad. It's probably going to end up badly. So the 5% rule is very simple. At 0000, so you see here, zero market watch. When that's 0000, you take 5% of this number equity, and you take 5% of this number. You calculate the figure, and that's how much you're able to lose. If during the same day you make profit, you can lose that profit in the same day. Like, that's what you can do. But if you roll it over, you have to calculate your equity, right? So if your equity is less than your balance, then your equity figure is more likely to be hit than the balance. If your equity is more than the balance, usually it's a daily balance that will be hit, right? Unless someone doesn't close their trades, which happens. Do you think it's possible to pass the challenge with only one indicator? I think it's possible to pass the challenge with no indicators. It depends how big your cojones are and how much you're willing to risk. What if you roll over profits from? Then you need to calculate the equity, right? Can I write to support even if I only have 9 trading days for my live account? Because otherwise I have to wait until Monday. What does... Oh, you are missing a day for payment? What are you missing a day for, Flo? I didn't check the dates on your account, so I don't know how old your account is. So tell me, Josh, how do we trade like a market maker? You put bids and asks on both sides of the market and have a credit line to the Federal Reserve, and you just open and close trades as they come, like a nice grid. Some people try to do that with $1,000 account. It doesn't work. After I pass evaluation, do I have to make? No, you don't have to make anything. Like, you can make 1 cent, we'll still pay you. There's no pressure on, and there's no targets. I passed phase 2, and tomorrow I have 9 trading days. See, the thing with that flow is if you send it tomorrow, it will be looked at on the weekend, which means you have 9 trading days. My advice would be to open and close that little trade the minute the market opens and send it then on Monday or Tuesday you'll get your account. Since you've already done documentation and oh no, that's phase 2. Oh, you passed phase 2. They said you've done documentation, it should be faster, so it shouldn't be too bad. Hey Kelvin. So if you're swing trading and up over 5% on a trade and the trade dips below 5% in the swing, you would fail the daily? Yes. Has this happened in our database? No, it hasn't. I understand the argument. if you're swing trading and you're up 5%, you're either up very large pips or you have very high risk. And if you let that swing against you, you're crazy. That's fine then, Mick. That is absolutely fine. There's been a miscommunication here, and I'm sorry for that, but you're absolutely fine. So why do grid EAs destroy accounts? Because they don't have a credit line that they can keep borrowing from. Can I trade NFP news with a buy and sell? What the hell just pinged in my ear? You can buy and sell in place before the news is released and wait for a trigger to trade, and you consider that as gambling. Do I consider straddling NFP gambling? I mean, yes, because you're not really analyzing anything, are you? Can you do it with us? Yes. That's kind of what makes us a little bit different to some other firms, is that we have people who are allowed to trade news announcements. Have I seen people make long-term money doing that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Personally, I would advise against it, but you can do whatever you want. So today is the day that NASDAQ might outperform Dow. Is that what we're looking at today? So, riddle me this. Oh no, don't riddle me this, because dollar is up. That makes sense. Silly. Sorry, I'm very, very tired today. I didn't sleep much. Can you explain what price discovery is, and how we can use it to our advantage? Well, price discovery is kind of self-explanatory. It's the market discovering where the price should be. And it's usually based on the shifting of market makers' order size. So there's more volume one side to the other until it reaches a point where there's more volume on the other side, or equal volume, so it ranges. How you can use it to your advantage? Well, the problem, especially with FX, is that it's not centralized. So you don't know what the order flow looks like, do you? Like, even if you had a level 2, or a tape as they call it, it wouldn't be accurate. How you can use it to your advantage? Trade opposite me, I guess. Discover when it's the time to short when someone says buy, right? I don't know how you can use something you can't see to your advantage exactly, but one way you could consider it is looking for points where the liquidity has balanced out. So, I mean, AD and ZD is probably the best example. Let me find it. That's the wrong chart, Josh. Let's find this here. So, if you look here, the price on both sides of the market, well, the volume on both sides of the market would be pretty accurate, pretty even, sorry, not accurate, with each other in a range. And then in this point, the makers on the buy side let it go a bit, and then it got even again. And now it's probably going to form another little range in there as well. And with this pair, AD and ZD, you have moves like this, and like these big ones here, where it's usually a fundamental reason from a central bank, and then after those pushes, it's still trending, right? But each bar is kind of rangy in its nature, because the two countries themselves are fundamentally similar. And, you know, being from Australia, I can tell you that the Australian Reserve Bank and the Reserve Bank of New Zealand very much collude with each other. They're very much involved with each other. The Australian Securities Investment Commission is also involved in New Zealand as well. If you have an Australian license, you can operate in New Zealand and vice versa. So that would be the best example, I think, is that you have these ranges that are built. So what you'd do is you'd play the range, and then you have a little stop on the outside of the range. If it breaks, you take a small loss, but you've made 1, 2, 3 gains on the buy and 1, 2, 3 on the sell. So your risk reward would work in your favor. I make 4% close trade and then lose 7% from the 104%. Is that a violation? You're going to have to be more specific, because I don't understand how I can calculate that with that sentence. Is it in the same day? Is it in the same week? When did you make the 4%? That's the difference. Oh, Flo, if only you had a wide stop loss. Oh, Flo. I swear I need to delete the NASDAQ chart. For signals, and show the same range. What's the point of that? What? Sorry. My phone is blowing up. Same day. Same day you can lose the profit. That's fine. And the 12% overall rule, that's just based off the original balance, right? I.e. 100K count up 112K. Yes, that's correct. The overall is of the overall count. Hey Yavuz, I believe a lovely lady from Greece who works for us has been looking for you to answer questions that are entering my mobile phone right now. What about the second month? Say you start the balance at profit with 12 cents. No, it stays as it is of the original account balance. So if we scale you, because there is scaling on evaluation, then it would move, but not from your profit, right? The account is the account until you withdraw or scale. Who sounds handsome? Me? No. I'm a nerd. Yeah, Vuz is handsome though. If the dashboard says you're good, you're always good, right? Not always, but if you think you're close, I can take a look at it for you. Or Yavuz can, or someone can. But 99% of the time, yes, you're good. I think we had 1 or 2 when we did the dashboard upgrade where they didn't get violated when they should have been. But it's fine. Are you a handsome nerd? I don't know. That's for other people to judge, I guess. A nerd can be handsome. Okay. It's entirely possible. I am very burnt in the market, and I am thinking gold's going to go up, actually. But I'm cringing. Who thinks gold long? How do you deal with emotions during trading as well as deviating from your plan? Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, I'm experiencing that right now, to be very honest with you. What I have traded in the stream is, first of all, I've traded pairs that I don't trade, which is against my plan, and it kind of wasn't even my plan for the stream either. But people ask questions, I take a look, I get interested, so I decide I'll trade it. And since it's not real money, you gung ho into it. When I trade real money, my plan is pretty solid because I know that it rewards me. And I don't trade much. But there are times, especially when the market is ranging really tight, where it's just loss after loss and it gets very bad psychologically, and usually I just take a break. That's generally how I deal with that. Deviating from your plan, that's the hardest one, right? Because you start to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Oh, I think gold is going to go up, right? Fortunately, I didn't open the gold trade because that would have been stupid. I have no evidence that gold is going to go up. But when you start saying I think, or it will, or it's going to, then you've kind of lost the plot, right? Because the idea is to say what it is doing. For example, Dow is going down. This is based on a fact. I shouldn't say, I think because Dow has gone down this much, it's going to go up. However, what I am saying is that if Dow proves to me that it is going up by crossing the moving averages, I will consider a buy. Right? That's a better statement. And it's all about how you're thinking about the trade itself. Right? That's how I'm thinking right now for Dow. Whether it happens or not in the next hour, who knows? Because I only have like an hour more to do this. But that is the correct way to think. Is not I think it will do this. It should be if it does this, I will take X action. With the bot you are making to track the 5% drawdown for balance and equity, will it have a feature? It's not a bot, it's an indicator. It will just tell you the amount that you can lose on the day. What is your trading plan with real money? Risk as little as possible on as much capital as I can get my hands on. But mostly, lately, I've traded Dow. I'm trading at 8:30 p.m. every night Eastern because I work during the day. And I take basically a move off a support into a resistance during the range, and that's it. And that's my trading for the day. I don't trade the New York session much anymore because of work. But it's good to know it hasn't changed, because I was saying it was going to spike and it spiked, and I lost because it spiked. I shouldn't have even been in the trade, to be honest. See, and I didn't take that NASDAQ trade because even though I thought it was going to go up, it's still going down. The gold trade's probably going to go sideways. So yeah, it's looking like a pretty bland day, to be honest. Kind of want gold to drop down to around 1738 for my fib pullback buy. Your fib pullback. Where did you draw your fibs from? From here? Like this? Oh yeah, that's 1738. Huh. Maybe. So if I'm going to remove all these objects because it's blinding me. If I was to look at gold right now, here's what it is doing, right? It fell. It has changed so that the average price is now moving up, but it is in a range. So you have the three averages are suggesting it's in a range. However, it is showing a support of one of the averages, which is also this past week, really weak resistance. Like that didn't really do much today. It just blast through it. So my bet, although this is not gambling, would be long. However, it could make a similar bar to this one here and hit your level for fib and then bounce. However, if it did that, I would be worried about the averages starting to trend down again. So you trade ranges? Not exactly, because I only make one-ish, two-ish trades per night for a very short period of time. Usually they're in the direction of the trend and it's from a pullback or something. So I'd say I trade pullbacks, kinda. It's kind of a plan based on circumstance. I would much rather be trading New York session, but I work, right? And I enjoy my job, where I am refamiliarizing myself with Dow during New York, and I'm doing these kind of pullbacks where you have the spike down, up, fall down, right? If I had my thinking cap on, that would have been a nice short, right? But I didn't take it. Someone else in the chat did. I think it was Believe. You hear Believe? Was it you who took that short on Dow? That actually was the smarter trade, smarter play, right? Support turns resistance, because that's an old line from like 2 days ago. Resisted the 100 EMA and fell to hell. Why am I not in that trade? Why am I not in that trade? Because, and it's 104 points. It would have been my saving grace. So tomorrow, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Our order blocks really blocks of pending orders? No. But I mean, I don't know exactly because I can't see the order book, but when the prices reach levels like where you would say they're order blocks, usually there are a lot of market orders occurring, because when the market is using pending orders, it sort of just drifts around. It's usually when the market is hit that it makes a move. Because if you stuff 5 million limits at a certain price, the price is never going to that limit, because not everyone's going to just not want to do it. They're going to try and get ahead of it. Ooh, that's interesting. 50 on the 100 too. I don't know what sentiment is. Hi Joe, all else fulfilled. When does live traders lose their account? 1, when they end the month in any negative, or 2, when they end the month in negative more than the allowed monthly drawdown. There's no monthly drawdown, but if you break either the daily or the overall rule at any time, you lose your account. right? So if you're inside your daily and your 12% rule for 10 months, you can keep trading, it's fine. If you break either of those rules, you're out. And they're not too tight rules either, just to be clear. At least that's how I feel about them, right? You know, I'm biased, I get it, but yeah, so long as your account hasn't broken either of the two drawdown rules, you go ahead and you keep trading. It's when you break one of those rules, you lose the account, right? Because everyone has bad months, everyone has good months, you know, up and down. So we don't punish you if you have a bad month, but you obey the rules. Oh dear. Well, I am thankful I had a stop loss. I'm sad that it was hit, but I'm thankful I had a stop loss. And I wonder, I'm just going to check on an account on the server. I wonder. Nope. The gambler didn't trade it. I thought that with this movement, the gambler is usually trading, so they didn't. So let's see here. Holding US 30 longer than usual short position. Well, congrats, man. No worries, Trevor. I wish you the best of luck wherever you are in your journey, man. Holding. How do you determine support and resistance? There's a lot of areas to use. So what makes one area good as opposed to another? Usually convergence. So if, for example, let's say this line here, see, let's say this one, just for, this is Dow, so it's a little bit different the way that it works, but let's say that this is a resistance line now, and I drew it as the bottom, it was the bottom of this range here, so that was actually what I traded on last night. So let's say that's a resistance because of the range from last night. If the 50 or 100 EMA is here and the price comes back and sort of rejects it, then you can assume that it is resistance, and this assumption is a probability assumption, right? So the more things that confirm a support or resistance, the more likely it is that your trade is going to work out, right? You can't just draw a line and say this is support and resistance, because it could just go plowing through it, right? But if you have multiple reasons for that to be considered a resistance or a support level, then you're increasing your probability of success. And that's what we do, right? That's what you and I are doing trading, although I am being unsuccessful right now. Then, wait, my train of thought just dropped. So when you're a trader, your job is to increase the probability of success. You cannot be right all the time. People know that. But you have to increase your chances of being right, and then risk management does the rest, right? Nice dodgy. Where? That's not a dodgy. I do like that though. With a daily bar, no, I don't have any reason to buy yet. And that's enough to go long. Yeah, exactly right. If the dashboard messes up and you were managing based off that, do you guys compensate, retry, or anything? It depends how bad it messed up and how bad you messed up, because the truth is, if it's a daily breach, if you breach the daily and you breach it hard, I don't think that I would compensate someone who does that, because the daily drawdown is not a stop loss. You shouldn't be near it to begin with, right? Your overall, again, if you're near the overall, you probably are on the way out anyway. It's hard, right? But it depends. If the dashboard was like just not working at all, and you can see that you were trying to manage risk and you either did too many trades in a day because you didn't know and your risk is small, then I would consider something. So if we don't violate drawdown rules, and even we didn't end our account above the initial balance, do we get an extension? Is that on the live account you're talking about? If it's on the live account, there's no time limit on it. So you can keep going if it's live. Extensions are only offered in phase 1, and you have to be above 0 profit loss in order for us to consider an extension, and an extension would only be granted if you have proper risk management and you just need more time. US 30 moving all the way down to 35,416. What? That's not down. It's up. I would hope that with my coming moving average cross, we get this goes down here, this goes here, it comes back, it W's and crosses, and then I can take the flow all the way back up. Do I use a percentage approach to risk or select your lot size at random? On my personal accounts, yes, 1% is my risk. On this challenge, there's absolutely no way that I'm either going to recover or compete if I were to do a 1% risk situation. However, my risk has been pretty close to 1% on a trade. We'll see. We will see. If I get one good trade, like if I actually took this trade, which is usually something that I would consider taking, is this sell here, which is, I don't actually know why my brain didn't grab it. Then the return from that trade would have put me back close to break even. Oh no, it wouldn't. It would, yeah, well, it would have. I would have been down 3K. So technically, I'm like 2 good trades in a row, and I'm back in it with the current risk size. And I have 3 to 4 negatives ish where I can lose before I break the rules. So we'll see. We'll also see, because maybe I'm climbing the leaderboard if other people lost their account. Maybe I do the Stephen Bradbury and just survive, and that makes me win. We'll see. We'll see. I know that a few accounts are already gone from the leaderboard. So perhaps, just perhaps, I have a chance. But I think there's one guy who's a live account that we added to this challenge. I think that he is trading quite well, actually. I think he's up like 10%. So I don't know if I can catch that in a week, but how much do you risk per trade on challenge? I think it was like 1.3% is in this trading. I think that's what the stop was. Not too bad. Still pretty bad, but not too bad. My recommendation to anyone is, if you have a strategy that you can take a little risk on and pass, and it's successful, then when you get to live accounts, you cut back. Go as low as 0.5% risk and just survive and make money and make a living out of it. Hey MD, how you doing? Good to see you back here. I saw you the other day, right? I keep pressing the wrong button. So let's see if we get this cross that I hope we get. Because that's a pretty nice pullback for Dow. I don't see any sentiment change from yesterday. The news itself as well was negligible. This might just be profit taking at open, and so they're getting a better price. No one has a long-term profitable EA. MetaQuote's language is so basic and buggy that it's impossible. When I owned my brokerage, we had guys who would plug into the API and trade with algorithms, and they made a killing, and they did really well. But they wouldn't give anyone or sell anyone those algorithms. It's over leveraging that has gotten these folks. No stop losses is what killed them. Is it possible for someone in phase 2 to get retries in phase 2 instead of phase 1? No. Roughly how much do people make on 25K live evaluation account? Let me look. Some people make about 2K. I thought I would have taken it to Believe, and I was looking for you earlier to say congratulations on that one. I don't know what my brain said, right? Moving averages crossed. Why am I buying that? Why am I buying that? Psychology, man. I know I'm plugging and tooting my own horn here, but trading in front of an audience is very different to trading when you're sitting in your underpants. And I think I said that yesterday. That being said, when I do open an office in Europe and you guys come, please don't trade in your underpants. Any trader ever made 100K in a month from this group? No, not yet. We had some guys get close and then lose it all. But that's about as far as it went. We paid out like 17.5 grand today. I think that's from accelerated though. That was one payment I'm talking about, not in total. We're paying out like $200,000-$300,000 a week in profits. Do you buy this account or sell it free from MFF since you're from their team? I made it on the server. It's a demo account, and I'm glad that it is not real money. So it is the same as a phase 1 account, really. That's exactly what it is. As you see, the fancy number 4191919. Yeah, that means that an admin made it. It's not part of the sequence of our account. Can you see how many lose their eval live account? Which pairs traded the most? Such things interest me very much. So we get about between 40 and 60% of people will lose their live evaluation account in the first month without reaching a profit split. The most traded pair is gold, with Dow second, and then a mixture of like NASDAQ, GBP, JPY after that. We have a lot of people trading USD MXN too, which is strange, but we also have a lot of people from Central and Latin America, so maybe that's why they're more in touch with that currency. Trading with an audience brings me in competition mode. Yes. For a long time I haven't had that need to be successful, and this particular competition thing has brought this need out in me, and that obviously affects psychology, even if we don't want to admit it. But since I'm aware of it, I can probably figure it out. I hope I can figure it out, so that I get a good trade in. One good trade and I'm back in the game. That's all it is. Yeah, it's very different. And I start to think, because when I traded treasuries in a prop firm for futures long ago, it was very different. The environment on the floor, there was a lot of stress, and I don't find trading stressful. But when I was trading on a firm floor, it was very stressful because everyone was tense. Your paycheck was only a percentage basis. You had to work very long hours. You had certain rules you had to make. So I kind of got used to trading from home alone in the darkness after that, and I enjoy it. This kind of brings that stress back. It's a little anxiety to it, but that's all right. It's my problem. It's not. What's the longest period in months an evaluation account trader held? There's a guy, we've done an interview with him, Anurag. He was one of the first to pass, and he's still got his account. He's got 4 live accounts, I think. Trading with the audience affects the part of psychology of being judged. I don't worry too much about that, to be honest. There were some people who were hoping for my demise. But that's all right. It's part and parcel of the game, I guess. As with everything, you have to show up in order to try, at least. If you don't try, then it's kind of pathetic, isn't it? So there were a bunch of streamers that we offered free MFF versus trader accounts, but expressed that it'd have to be public and all that sort of thing, and all of them said no to it. So yeah, that Justin, you're kind of right. It's kind of changed a little bit now. It's not as cocaine addiction-y. They are very stressful though. I think the stress of trading firms, when you're talking about institutional trading and stuff like that, it comes from the management. I don't think it comes from the job itself, because there's so much pressure to reach targets, to achieve certain things. For example, when I traded prop, 90% of our orders had to be limits. We couldn't hit market. So it's a bit compliqué, but when you have a manager who probably hasn't traded in their life beating down saying hit the target, hit the target, hit the target, it gets very stressful. The top performing tradings at MFF, do they take profits off at multiple levels, or do they keep adding to their position? Neither. The most successful traders at MFF have a stop loss, a take profit, and open one trade. Check NAS 100. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, I was too busy talking. But I said I wouldn't trade NAS anyway, so. But I think that's what Dow's gonna do too. Oh, I missed it. Oh well. I hope you're in, Flo. See, if I obeyed my rules, right? Hit. I would have bought here. That's 40 points. Justin, the firms you're talking about with the cocaine addictions, they're mostly sales brokers, right? That's the sales floor. That's a very cowboy business. And even in Forex brokers, it used to be like that. What's the average percent expectation from a trader when you're prop trading? We didn't have percentage, right? So the way that prop worked in treasuries was that you would be given size. So you could trade 10 contracts, for example. Like that would be your limit, and you have to make what you can out of those contracts with a certain expectation over a quarter of what you would earn. Then if you did well, they would increase your contract size. They wouldn't give you a big account size. It'd just be a contract size. I'm assuming it was going into a pooled account. I was looking at some historical charts the other day. It looks like NAS usually leads the other two. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's 40 points, but I didn't get it. My heart's broken. It's actually going to go way higher, I think. That's quite the bar. It's yeah, it'll probably maybe. I'm not going to speak with certainty. It would appear to me, sir, that it is going to go up and break this channel line. Ah, that's a real reversal. Okay. Yeah, it's a typical workplace. I mean, I don't have that at MFF. We don't have that kind of distress. Martusa doesn't come around beating on us for targets and stuff. My stress in MFF usually comes from you guys, in that might be something broken that needs fixing, and I get disappointed that something's broken, right? I prefer it to be fixed. I don't want you guys to have to report to me that something is broken. I've had a few things reported yesterday that I'm working on too that broke my heart a little bit. Yeah, Dow just isn't going to follow yet. S&P is going though. See, in the past when I've looked at S&P and NASDAQ, I've known that they've sort of follow each other. Dow is a little bit different because Dow's share makeup is of like ancient companies. AT&T, I think, is in the Dow. Exxon, these types of companies. MFF gamblers give you stress. No, MFF gamblers just make me have to stay awake longer and give me bags under my eyes. It's not, they don't stress me out. It's a weird feeling actually, because that particular trader is kind of shooting for the stars, right? But unfortunately, in this world we live in, there's a thing called gravity. So when you shoot for the stars, you're generally going to come back down to earth. But if said trader controlled himself with risk, and instead of targeting 500 billion in one day from his trading profits or her trading profits, and they said, okay, I'm hoping to make 1% a day, then they most likely would have success, because they do close losses. It's just that the size is so big that you know that eventually they're going to lose the account, but they don't give themselves space. I just opened an account. I hope no problem with copy. Mixzico, you can take this VOD, the VOD of this video, and use it as evidence if someone makes a problem with copying trading. And you can say, see, Josh said that I'm allowed to do it. And then it will be completely on me if someone decides to make a problem, which I doubt they will, because the only person who would make a problem would be me. So you'll be fine. Isn't it a good thing they're gamblers as they can burst easily and you guys make money from the subscription? That's not interesting for us. There's enough people who don't pass phase 1 and phase 2 for us to make money from subscriptions. We don't need someone who makes it to live accounts, which we execute their trades, and then we get blasted by it, right? Have you tried telling the gambler to pack it in? We have prevented them from buying new accounts. That's the first step. They have live accounts that belong to them. We're not stopping that. The live account, I think there's 2 left. There's 2 of 6 remaining. So once they're gone, they're gone. But we'll respect our contractual obligations with them. You know, if they do make it big, that's great. You know, we'll pay them, no problem. But you know, this is like account number 15 or 16 they've gone through. Enough is enough. Enough for them and enough for us. You shouldn't just keep spending money like that. I think that it's beneficial for both parties if we say, you know, thank you, but this is not going to work out. But obviously we have obligations, and we will respect those obligations. That's been going around a lot, the prop firms using subscription to pay out profits. Yeah, I mean, we don't deny the fact that we make money from subscriptions, but at the same time, you know, we make money from people who make profit too. So I don't know what other companies do exactly. I know that through my connections, there is another firm, one single firm that I know of that does execute trades. I don't know if they execute all their trades, but they execute some trades. What do you consider gambling? Big lot sizes or news trading? Trading the size of the market for no reason and gridding it, like no stop losses. Big lots, no stops. Even middle-sized lots, no stops, and not closing out losses. This is gambling. It's hope. If you're trading, you need to be able to say that I'm increasing my probability of success by doing X, Y, and Z. If I am wrong, this is the point where I know that I'm wrong. Right? Even if your stop loss is 120 pips away, at least you have one, and you'll be fine. Will you be coming out with aggressive accounts, and for acceleration accounts, will your split be any higher than 50%? We are considering increasing profit split for people who reach the 10th phase or somewhere around there. We're still calculating it. With accelerated, there's considerable risk to us because that's real money, right? And every accelerated account that we have stopped out for violating has lost more than the amount that they paid to us because of the trade sizes and stuff. Aggressive accounts, I don't see the purpose in them. We do want to do something, but they probably won't be big. Like, we won't have a 200k aggressive account. That's crazy. Adding to losing positions sometimes. Speaking personally, I do copy trading from my main. Okay, cool. SL and TP is only set on the main. Right, but that means you're closing losses anyway. So if you're closing losses, I can actually see it. If I see a copier and I see you're closing losses, I could make that assumption that it's copying the exit of a trade somewhere else. So the question is, when my cross occurs, am I going to make money? Or am I going to fall deeper into the darkness? What part of MFF made you decide that this is the company that you wanted to work for? The people. It was entirely the people. So I know the owners of Tickmill. So the way that I joined MFF was there were some problems with Tickmill. So I made the introduction, and from there Mertuz and I got talking, and now we work together. So that's basically where it started. GBP JPY had a beautiful drop. Ooh, yeah. And it was a nice trend pullback too on the 5 minute. I'm not used to such small pips though, right? 27 pips. Thanks for enjoying it. No worries, Flo. I am actually enjoying it too, even though I'm very tired. Accelerated account subscription or one-off payment? One-off payment. We got rid of all the subscription models. Subscription models kind of don't really. That's like a really old model for prop. A lot of London shops do it for futures too. You sort of pay for your seat. But we don't. What we didn't like is that with a subscription model, it adds pressure to make a certain amount of money to cover your subscription, right? And that makes people make mistakes. Justin, quick question for you. Not allowed to run hedging strategies. All right, so this is like a very common question, and a lot of people get peeved off about it. The reason why is because whilst some people might hedge nicely and successfully, the majority of people would hedge and 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 hedge until they violate. And then to unwind a hedge, you have to unwind each side individually. And when you unwind huge volume of hedges, because you're hedged and there's no margin when you're hedged, so you can have huge amounts of hedges, we have very big risk of significant loss, right? So that's why we don't allow it, because as we unwind the hedges, if someone just hedges to the oblivion, they have 50 hedges open, we're not going to be able to execute the close at the hedge. How do you draw a box in MT4? You go to insert shapes, rectangle, drawer, see? Yeah, a lot of people nowadays use trading views, so. Also, sometimes it's better to close than to hedge, right? Like I think we had this conversation yesterday, not you and I, but others, is that when you think that it's time to sell in order to buy again, because so you're hedging some and then you sell, then why aren't you just closing the buy and then just opening another buy? Why are you hedging and then buying again? Like, why? I mean, I understand it's some people's style, but I don't get it. German 30 sell. Could be. I don't see what that would be based on though, because you're sort of at all-time highs. And this zone is holding pretty nicely, I guess. I don't know. I think, although I'm not sure, I'm gonna get my cross. Do you reckon liquidity is low during the summer months, or is it just a myth that markets don't move during that period? You mean the whole sell in May and go away thing? I think that's long gone. That was something when there was floor traders, right? So when everyone was in the pits, in the share markets doing the shares, a lot of people would be on vacation and stuff, so that's probably why that was happening. But now that everything's algorithmic, I don't think that it's applicable anymore. If you're doing cross hedging, you can cross hedge till the cows come home with us. We're talking about same pair hedging, or margin hedging as they call it. So I'm just S&P and Nasdaq are up. Dow is pooping the bed, but yesterday Dow did well and Nasdaq fell, and S&P was kind of flat. Today S&P looks like it will make a daily bar that has a higher high, at least on a wick, but the Dow does not. But what's your view on DXY, the dollar index? I don't really have a view on it. I don't watch it, and I don't have a chart for it either, so I couldn't tell you, but I would assume that the dollar is starting to look quite bullish. Yeah, that's true too, Jimbo. Things have changed a lot. I actually, when I joined the industry, it was at the end of open outcry when people were in the markets. So my first desk job, we did have a trader on the floor that we would call if we needed to fill big orders. But we already had the computer trading as well. But a lot of telephone calls, and telephone calls, I hate them. So I think in that job I had my life's share of telephone calls. But I don't have one of those suits, you know, the jackets that they had to be noticed in the pit. I wish I did though. Actually, I think that in a past life I might have been a trader in the Chicago exchange or something, because it really gets me excited thinking about those days, even though I wasn't there. It's like the Bill Williams stuff, right? So I like fractals. I'm gonna put fractals on. I like fractals. I like them. I think that they're valuable because they confirm a bar, right? Providing you know which bar you're looking to confirm. But like his gator oscillator, this is useless. Alligator, yeah, that's kind of useful still because it's just moving averages, but they're a little bit tight. I'm sure that you could probably get something out of them, but it's kind of outdated stuff. Yeah, but this isn't a telephone call, man. I don't have to keep up appearances and stuff. Who were they even shouting at in the pit? They were just shouting out prices. That's all they were doing. Yeah. I do like the poker element too, right? Because now trading's not so pokery. It's more just an analytical ability. Back then it was like you're pulling fast ones on everyone and hoping that you're the smartest guy in the pit, right? That's the goal. Yeah, I know. I've already missed NAS. Nasdaq, man. Nasdaq did well. That cross. Oh, that cross. See, that is what I'm waiting for with Dow. And you get a little squeeze and then the shunk. That's 70 points. All right. I'm not going to look at Nasdaq anymore. I'm going to change that. Dow now is just, it's probably going to make another dip. That's what it looks like. Unless it makes a squeeze and a cross, I'm not interested in it. And we're coming up on 11 a.m. either as well. So the one thing that I will say to you all is that Um, those arrows are fractals. These ones, they're fractals. I just put them on because it's part of Bill Williams's stuff. What they do is the fractal will paint if you have a higher high or lower low with the next bar confirming it. So this bar doesn't break the previous one, right? That's what a fractal is. They're pretty good if you're trading a little bit longer term. Sometimes they're good for like 5-minute bounces and stuff. But do traders ever trade USD INR? No. Well, I can't say no, but not much. There might be a few trades on it. How's the tax deducted from the payout? Let's say I have 10K on the evaluation account and I'm on my 85% profit level, which is on the 3rd month of the evaluation. So the question is ... The question is, how's tax deducted? That would depend entirely on your country that you live in and your own tax situation. So we will pay you everything that you're owed from us, and when you receive it, then how you manage your taxes is your decision. I would suggest consulting a local accountant who knows the laws locally. That would be my suggestion. For me, I am like contractually, I am a contractor. If I trade prop, which I do, and the money comes in and I have to pay Social Security tax, everything, you know, when I declare my taxes to the government. But that's my country's law. Your country's law might be different. You might have a flat rate of 10%, and if so, please tell me which country that is so I can move there. If this cross happens at any time, so even if the stream is off, I'm telling you guys now because I'm not going to cheat, so you guys will know. If this cross happens, I'm taking it. If it happens when it's on the stream, great. That means that I will stream longer. If it doesn't, and you see the cross when you're watching your charts, you can assume that I am in the trade. Do you send 1099s? No, we're not an American company. Any news on what commodities will we add in the future? I'd love to see orange juice traded for the memes. So I have OJ, I have soybeans, corn, nat gas, etc. The spreads are awful. They're futures too, they're not spot. The margin is expensive, so I can't give the same leverage. And the problem is every month you'll have to change the chart. There's no single chart for months and months of data. It's every month a new contract. Unfortunately, the reason I haven't added them publicly yet is because the clients that we have will be so confused by having so many charts available to them, and our support team can't handle that right now. How do I get the cross on the chart? I have 20, 50, and 100 exponential moving averages on the chart. You're from Estonia. I've been there. I like Estonia. It's very cold though. 20%, that's not bad. The only thing is I like snowboarding, but not that much snow. What's the total amount you currently have under management? And right now the best place to move to is Puerto Rico. 4% corporate tax, 0 on capital gains. Yeah. I have my eyes set on the Mediterranean. My EMA is at 20, 50, and 100, not 10, 20, and 50. Any news on it? I've done that one too. So I should I should put a straw poll up whether or not this cross is going to happen. It's squeezing. The support is there. We're closing in on the end of the hour. Should I do it? Should I risk it for the biscuit? The RR is a little off. See, there's no way that's not going to cross now unless this single bar comes down. So, who's gonna sell when I buy? That is the question. Which one of you are gonna sell Dow because I bought? As has been happening all week. You're gonna sell, believe? You're gonna trade against me? Nothing to hold on long? I think the long-term trend is a pretty good one. I think that that's also a trend line bounce. Look, I mean, you can kind of make a trend line fit anywhere, but the big concern is that it's on an hourly bar close. That bar has no upper wick on it. Is that an accurate description? Okay. All right. I've convinced myself, I think. Too risky for sell, but we've established that if I buy, the trade is sell, right? Isn't that what we've established? That you guys make money when I lose, and I always lose. I mean, I pretty much so far have always lost. In this challenge, I've pretty much always lost. And the funny thing is, yesterday I got an email last night from passing a phase 2 of another company. So there's some irony to this whole experience. See, I held off because it's the hour, right? So the hour has started, but I do think that bar is going to go up, and I do think that we're going to get a cross, but we haven't got the cross yet. It's not entertaining the idea. It might spike down a bit first, and so I patiently wait for my cross. I feel like a complete system can be made just from the things you've said the past few days. That would be scary. If you can put a system together with what I've said in the past few days, I feel like it would be confusing. I'm sinking. Yeah, I know. Well, personally, I don't feel sinking, but my trading account is sinking. Now this keeps going up. Yeah. It kind of looks a little bit toppy now in the 1 minute. Like it could pull back here and go up. S&P kind of looks a little bit the same, like it's gonna come back a bit. I've never really looked at S&P on the 1. It's very blocky. S&P does remind me a little bit of Renko. Look at it. It's like very brick. The winner of the competition gets a refund, right? But isn't that really basically nothing? Because if they're good enough to win this competition, then they anyway have to get the refund. If they pass phase 1, we'll probably refund them and skip phase 2. So they'll go straight to live. If they are live, because we have some live traders in it as well, because they asked to be in it, we'll give them a free evaluation, which is money, essentially. The Q&A is the best part of watching you trading, lots of knowledge. Yeah, well, that's because I'm losing, right? If I was making killer money, everyone would be like, wow, you're making killer money, but I'm not, so. But I'm happy to answer questions. I enjoy it. It's a good difference. It's good change in my life than staring at a server. Yeah, the losses never define us, yeah. It's true. I'm kind of thankful now that I talked myself out of the buy of the Dow, because I wanted these bars to make the cross and it didn't. So no trade is a good trade. I think we'll keep it for this one if a person from the phase 1 wins, but at the moment it doesn't look like the phase 1 person's going to win. There's a guy on live who's killing it, so yeah, like the problem we faced is we wanted 20 accounts, but we didn't get 20 opt-in accounts. So the opt-in guys, if they won, for sure we will pass them through phase 2, right? For this competition, if they opted in. The other people, they didn't even do anything. They just had an account. So what we'll do is refund them early, because I think we emailed them all, so they should know that they're in this and they had a chance to opt out of it. But they didn't opt into it, and they didn't purchase another account. So we'll see. We're always generous with these things, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. If someone passed phase 1 and failed phase 2, do they redo phase 1 and 2 again? Yes, and they have to buy again too. What is buzzing in my ear? Why did you send me this? Okay. Someone sent me their evaluation thing for some reason. Sold nice with very tight stop. 110R. Expecting some lunchtime profit taking. It's still early for lunchtime, but entirely possible. Yeah, so that's fine. We're gonna do more, and we'll even probably do like some free ones too to hand out stuff. We're also considering building some merch too, because we have a lot of design ideas and we have a lot of designers and stuff. Because we have a team that does design work, so we might do like merch giveaways and stuff as well with trading competitions. So it's in the works, but there's only so many hours in a day, right? Yeah, I'm considering that, like, I have the weekend to work it out, but I'm considering making it an any account size type thing and just make it on percentage gain, and make the reward based on the account size that you purchase, right? The truth is, for me, merch is like, I want to wear the merch personally. Like, I like this company and I want to wear it, so I could probably come up with some pretty good memes for mugs and stuff. So I could call myself a fund manager. Yeah. See, no trade was the right trade. At least I got that one right. Where is it on the 5? It's far. Yeah, based on accounts, like there's a bunch of changes we should do. This is the first one, and you never get it right the first time. That's just the facts. And it's hard in this day and age. Everyone expects instant perfection, and it's difficult. But we will adjust it. We heard the feedback. Trust me, we heard the feedback. We got thousands of messages about it. So we will resolve it. We'll make it more accessible. The only thing is we have to limit the number of people, because doing the leaderboard can take a whole day to do, because we have to go through everyone's dashboard and grab all the details and calculate the details and make it on a nice pretty format and post it in most places. It takes a long time, so we have to limit the numbers for sure. There's no doubt about it. But if it were to be very popular, I'm wondering whether there would be another way, like forcing people to use my FX book or something to make it work, so that we can just go and pull that data and add it. But there's a lot of ideas, right? But it's just that we're so busy, it's hard to put them together quickly. You try your luck with GA. Do I have that up here? No, I have GBP CAD. There's one live trader who I really, really like, who only trades Euro AUD. He has $100,000 account and he trades one lot, and he makes 2 or 3% a month, and he's happy. And I really like that. Why can't I find it? GBP AUD. What are you doing? Selling or buying? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can fault myself a lot. I'm not going to go down the dark hole of saying how bad I've performed in this stream, but what I will say is that I've enjoyed the time too, and chatting with you guys, because you all ask questions, and it gives me ideas too on, like, I can make infographics or info videos and stuff for people as well, because I'm sure that other people have the same questions too. And it gives a good content idea. And now that I have this computer with the microphone and stuff, I can do a whole bunch of things. You're selling GBP AUD, okay? I can get rid of this one. There's too many. I don't want USD CAD, because I'll never trade that one. GB CAD I'll get rid of. This one, okay. I don't like that trade, but I'm not you, so GBP is sinking, same as my trading account. Is there a reason you're so mean? Allah Naife. It's quite mean, I think. One day, today or tomorrow, I'll get my lovely 100-point Dow trade, and I will have a nice dirty sock for you to eat. I will retire on that one trade. It won't even get my account back to break even, but that will be my retirement. I will say, I did it. Allah, here's a sock for you. I shouldn't say your name like that, actually. If you drew a trend line on GA. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I see too, is that. And I see the averages and the bouncing, but it's a possible break maybe down to the 17 line. Very possible. I just don't like it. Like, I wouldn't trade that myself. Well, then maybe yesterday I would have. But intraday so lasts a few hours if my stop loss doesn't hit. Yeah, true. I still think this Dow cross is gonna happen. Just don't know when and how. But I think if I get it, I do think that it might go for a new high. So I was joking, man. I was joking. Don't worry. Don't worry. If it breaks, personally, I need a retest. Yeah. My intention, my impression of it is going back up to the top. That's my impression of it. But, you know, I've been wrong almost every trade so far on this thing. So that would be my impression. So trade opposite me. I still haven't finished my coffee and it is very cold. Oh, that's a nice support spot too. Look here. Let's draw the little shape. This part. This is a Yavuz Karadenis special. This one. How I normally trade US 30 on Asian session. So Asia, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Let me move my chart. So that was the up move that came in. So in here, this is where I traded last night, right? I think it was here somewhere, right? I bought off here. Sorry, I'm getting messages. I would assume I bought this bar. I'm pretty sure that's the one because of this double bottom. I'm pretty sure I bought this bar. Obviously it went against me to start with, but then it went up. And this is the top of the range before the gap, and that's where I closed it. And that was my day for my live trading accounts. Justin, obviously you haven't been paying attention. The moral of this stream is do the opposite of what I do. What is your special? These zones are your special, right? Look at this. I drew it probably a little bit bad, but let's say that the blue ended at this, right? This is your special. Isn't this like the smart money stuff? Nice wick area. Ooh. It's in the depth of a volume bar. Bouncing off the 1 hour 50. My sinus hurts a lot. I do think that I'm going to get my Dow trade, and that's why I'm still streaming, even though I should have gone and attended to the server. Mertuz, if you're listening, you can fire me tomorrow. I really want this trade. And so I'm willing to wait it out. I need to get rid of some of this crap on the chart though. It's like a bit much. What line is that? 882. So I keep that one. And I'll take one of these off. Yep, that one. There we go. Now my chart's pretty again. If it breaks out of that range and comes down, you would be long. We kind of did that, no? Came into it, went up, came down, now we're going up again, and we're going to cross. So I'm going to take this trade. I am definitely going to take this trade. This is one that I'm going to take, and I'm going to take it right now. I'm going to set my stop loss because that's the rule. I'm going to set my take profit. My stop is starting wide. I want my, and that's a pretty decent spot for a take profit, I think. And now, everyone, you should sell and make money. My stop's okay for now. As the market moves, I'll move my stop. I don't think there's a risk of me getting spiked out. I think right now, in my trade, the way that I see what the market is doing, it will come up. The question will be how I protect from any loss from this point. Right, so it'll either dilly-dally its way up here and then come back down and stop me at break even, or it will take a line from Jeff Bezos and fly to the moon. All right, Jimbo, you're gonna get rich. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. Actually, that's an idea, right? I can just come in, stream impulsive trades, like be impulsive and erratic trading, like every support and resistance level. And you guys can go the opposite way and we can make a really healthy, profitable prop firm. So we can do that. You guys get rich and I will be the guy that becomes an internet meme. Actually, I want to see Bitcoin whilst we're here. Bitcoin, by the way, I don't recommend anyone trading, but I did pass someone's challenge with Bitcoin before. Bitcoin looks as if it's going to go down. Oh, that's an hourly chart. It's already gone down, and there's sellers actively selling too. But there's also buyers actively buying. So maybe the next push is up, but 1, 2, 3, yeah, maybe it's down. Who knows? All it takes is a tweet and Bitcoin changes its direction. The lost pause section of WSB, yeah. Although sometimes they can get really nastily correct. How much percent has someone achieved in the month? The highest? 20 something. That's ending the month. So they get paid, right? No, it's more than that. I think it'd have to be in the 30s. 30%. Most people who go above that usually lose their account soon after. So, the guy who has trades on French index is still holding them. Wall Street Bets is really fun though. I like their style. I like their pizzazz, so to speak. They could do without the strange memes though. There's some really offensive stuff that comes out of there. Yeah, to be honest, from my analytical perspective, anyone who is cutting above 30-ish% in a month, they're not going to last very long. Yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said that we don't do some of that. We don't do much reverse trading because you kind of when someone is trading live because they managed to get there but they don't really know what they're doing, it can be really risky to trade opposite them because they're usually trading heavily and they can make a lot of money first, right? So you have to pick and choose who you would do that to. But there are people, so on Forex Factory, there's a sentiment indicator thing, like from the people who have their account attached. And there's a guy who has an EA that takes that data and trades opposite it. If it becomes unbalanced, they trade against the Forex Factory traders. And they make money, right? And that makes sense to me. It's the same as FX Street has a sentiment thing where it's like, most retail traders are long or short, and then they'll have their sentiment as a company as the opposite of that. Yeah, that's right, Justin. That's a pretty accurate description. Yeah, I was around during the beginning of that anime board, and I have to say that I don't particularly admire it. See, there's a chance it'll come back here and then hit my stop loss. There's a very strong chance that is what's going to happen. But I do like my trade, so I'm going to sit here and watch it with you guys so that I don't feel so bad when I wake up tomorrow morning and lose again. Do I think it will go back up there though? Let's see. I don't know if my chart sounds are coming through. Oh, I have desktop audio off, that's why. Because usually when I drag it, it's like, it sounds like a whip almost. So, well, this is the most profit I've been in since I started streaming. That's a lie, but could be a good one. It could be a good one. It could be a good one, and I ate pizza last night, so I can't celebrate again if it is a good one. You know, you got to celebrate the small victories. The cross is definitely going to happen. I obeyed my rules. Feet don't fail me now. The 1 hour bar is shaping up very nicely. The 30-minute is also shaping up very nicely. So let's go. I'm rubbing my hands together now. You trust me, man. Oh my God, I'm so relieved from this. I'm overwhelmed by relief right now. Ah, I can't believe how psychologically draining this is. Hey, Fanja, I haven't seen you chatting today. It's good to see you here. Can I see my exact payout date? So if you go to your dashboard, you just check the 30 days thing. But I believe in the email that you're sent, it should be in there that your payout date is a certain date. Otherwise, one of the support guys can help you. You're in Discord, so they're all there. The cross is happening. We had my up rebound off the MA, nice pattern. If you ever want to use that pattern, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. Make lots of money. That's the whole point. So today was good. Hey, it's not over yet, man. It's not over yet. This could reverse. I actually need to move my stop a little bit, so it's not so big. I can assume that if it goes back into that wick, then I'm going to lose. So my stop is now at what? 31 points. So I can, yeah, I would assume that if it hits my stop loss, I'm wrong. So let's just assume that. Now what we really want to happen from here is we want these two moving averages to get above the 100 to confirm that the order flow is going to trend in that direction. And then if they get above it and they trend in that direction and you have more risk that you can take, which I don't, then every pullback to the 50 or the 100 is valuable enough to add to a trade if you are a person who adds to a trade if you were trading this type of strategy. Is the email sent automatically, or do we have to contact every time we have a payout? You have to contact us. Because some people don't want to pay out. But we are sorry, I choked on my tongue. We are going to maybe send out notices. We're working on a system now which is being tested, and I know it's being tested because my inbox is filled with automated emails from testing. We're testing that we'll send notices to people who pass phase 1, pass phase 2, or are due for a payout. That way, we don't have to chase people, or people don't say, but you didn't email me. We'll make it some sort of alert system, and then you will have to request it because we need your details, right? You have to send us your banking details or crypto wallet or whatever. Oh dear. Will this continue? Gotta have faith, right? I think you guys bought too heavy, and now the market has decided that it wants to go against us. For some reason, you guys felt that it was the time to follow me. The truth is, it's the time to go against me. Any plan on adding a portal for payout? We have one. You go into you log in on the website, not the .info, the actual website, and you hit request bonus. And there you can request it. Profit take from NAS flowing into DAO, maybe. I don't see profit taking in NASDAQ. Or S&P. I don't see it. So I would hope that it's just the Dow is going to catch up to them. But after yesterday's move, let's map yesterday's move, right? Yeah. So we're sitting above the 50% mark now on the retrace. So it is a good spot. It doesn't confirm anything. My cross, I feel, confirms that we're still going up. But if I do see a reversal cross, I'm out of here. I am out of here. How quick is the average crypto payment in terms of withdrawal? 24 hours, because we have to process it. And when we process it, that's our delay, not crypto's delay. Is the request bonus only for bonus payouts, or even it's for all payouts? Mertuza wanted to call it a bonus. I think legally it has to be called a bonus, but yeah, that's what it is. It's for requesting payouts. Use that for accelerated. All right, use it. You can use it for both. I still think my trade's good for now. If I see it going hinky, I'll close it. It's not. I'm not in love with any trade, to be honest. But this looks. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's nice to see positive numbers for once. Definitely a very nice thing. I know that most of you have already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, please do. You won't only have just me here losing trades on stream. Where tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, I want to say, Mertuza and I will actually be having a company update meeting here live on stream. So be sure to follow, spread it around, get everyone in. We will announce that on Discord as well today for tomorrow. We'll be talking about this promotion, for example. We'll be talking about company news. I do have a list. Hold on, I'll tell you the list. You're getting it here first. The list is geez, I have so many messages from Mertuza, and he has so many from me, just to be fair. Live trader stats, lessons from our live traders, which I have to figure out today. Bonuses for eval in 1 and 2 versus profits Q&A. I don't know what that one is, but I'll fix up the schedule for it. But we have probably we'll have one of Mertuza's little slideshows too. But yeah, we'll be having a big. I will be having a big conversation tomorrow about the company and what's going on, and updating everything and letting everyone know what's going on, so you can spread it around and share it, and it'll be a good time. And we plan to do that most Fridays from now on. We were doing it before on Zoom, but we got really sidetracked with the growth of the company, so we're going to bring it back. And then I am expecting you guys in chat to start heckling Mertuza to make him be the next guy to do MFF versus trader. I think that would be a great thing for him to do too. Discount codes, maybe tomorrow. I may just verbally drop a discount code. We never know. It could happen, it might not. You just have to tune in and find out. That's just the way it works, right? It is entirely possible that I drop a discount code tomorrow. But it'll only be eligible for people who follow and subscribe to our YouTube, I think. God, I sound terrible by saying that, so. It was a joke, but I might get a code. The code thing wasn't a joke, but maybe. What's the reason for support becoming resistance and vice versa when broken? It depends on where the level is. Some of those levels are options, so you have to protect your option. Some are some are Goldman Sachs, for example's risk book will protect their risk book at a certain point too. Some is like a company like Sony needing to purchase at an average price of X in order to buy their components in dollars. It depends. It depends on the situation. Usually it has something to do with managing risk, and then price discoveries in between. Because you got to remember, a company like Sony, they'll be exchanging billions of dollars, and they will say, in order for us as a company to hit our foreign exchange target, we can only buy at an average price of X, Y, and Z, right? So they'll stick their orders in there. And then if they get their execution, they're happy because they've reached their target, right? That's one element of trading, right? It's not a huge, it is big, but it's not the biggest element of it in Forex anyway. For DAO, it will be companies like your Vanguards, your BlackRocks, who have to fill orders that are for retirement funds. So they'll say, in order for us to make more profit as a company, this is our target price, and then they will fill at those levels. There's a whole bunch of algorithms around it too. There's no exact answer to that question. And if I was to tell you that I know everything, it would be a lie. Well, I'm in this trade. It's not moving very much, though. It's starting to make some bearish looking movements on some other time frames. I mean, I asked the question yesterday that what would your ideal prop firm account look like without taking into consideration it being free or something like that? And everyone kind of just agreed that evaluation was probably the best. And it just keeps going up. Yep, it looks like it'll go all the way to heaven. S&P too. Now I want the Dow to follow, but it's not. GA, oh, doesn't look very good, but I would hope that Dow will at least get up here somewhere. That would be. So they use algorithms to get price to a certain level where they can execute at a favorable price. No, I mean it depends who it is, but some of it really depends on a lot of things, right? So let's say because Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or any big name financial company, hedge fund, dark pool, whatever, they're actually liquidity providers. So they're buying and selling at practically every price, right? They put limits on both sides, and if someone hits the market, then they're taking the order. And they operate, you would assume, what is considered a B book, right? They're taking on risk. So whether you're executing as a speculator or you're executing as a wholesaler or just an exchange company or whatever, if you're executing with them, they're warehousing the risk, right? So what they do after that is they will then try to protect their risk. So if, for example, their risk is all long, what they want to do is to make the market go short. So they're going to find levels where they're comfortable protecting it because they have to stop the longs from winning so they don't lose. It's not manipulation, so don't interpret it as that. How does an institutional guy trade aggressive if he or she uses limits? Algorithms. there aren't many desks that do individual speculation. They do more risk hedging. So the company takes on as many trades as they can and then manages them to make most profit out of them. What is your opinion as some prop firm removed minimum trading days in evaluation? I don't. My opinion is that I would prefer someone to do a 10-day thing to test their patience. We did do our own testing of it by removing it, and the people who were able to pass in 1 day always attempted to pass in 1 day and failed at a higher rate than the 10-day minimum. So that's my opinion of it. We tested it, that's the facts, and we are not about people failing. Even though we make money from failures, it's not in our long-term interests for people to fail in a day and then buy again and fail the next day. Mind you, people still fail in a day, but there would be more people failing in a day if they could get their live account in 3 days. I don't particularly like my trade anymore. I have a feeling it's going to do the wiggle. It'll come down and then do that because of this pattern. But now I'm just assuming. Man, I thought this was going to be my day and my trade. My day and my trade. I'm starting to get an allergy too, which is never good. What in ooh. It could be forming a diamond pattern, maybe. I'll give it a little bit more space, but not much. I don't really understand why traders complain about 10-day requirements. Traditionally, traders won't be taken seriously. They have a year or more worth of record. Yeah, kinda. I heard institutional guys don't use charts. Well, that's not true. They just don't use pretty charts. It's usually just a bear price chart. It might even be a line chart. It might even be this. It depends on the firm. It depends on the style, what the person's job is, etc. This is the story of my stream, I think. Down, up, down, up. I feel compelled to hold the trade, but at the same time, don't particularly want to lose anymore. See, it was kind of what I was afraid of, is that it builds some sort of continuation pattern around it, but there's still a little support there. Wyckoff pattern. The expert in Wyckoff is Mr. Yavuz Karadenis, I think. He knows more about it than I do. The guys who shorted against me, congratulations. Once again, you are the winner. You pass go, and hopefully there's $200 waiting for you there. And not a dirty sock. I want to watch this. Why didn't that draw? I want to watch this mark. And if I don't see any price action that gives me any hope, then I'm gonna dump this dog. And on to the next one. It's amazing, isn't it? That one day market can be so bullish and the next day it can be a dead animal. The gold long kind of panned out. I was looking at earlier, but wasn't confident enough to take it. Let's have a look here. I would have stopped out. That's 30, 32. What's your risk rewards? Congrats, Leonhardt. My risk reward is 3 to 1 on this one, I think. Now it is anyway. Probably inverse head and shoulder. Maybe you can look at the volume. That's not a head though. This is more like a bat or whatever they call it. A Gartley or a bat. I get confused by the two. I can draw the harmonics, I think. I forgot how to draw harmonics. You have your triangle here and your triangle here. That's a bat pattern. Yeah. Make sure you email evaluation@myforexfunds.com, Leonhardt, to get your phase 2 if you've passed the days as well. You know, if you haven't made the days, just wait for the days to come. This might actually wait for the hour to even play out, which without any bounce into the hourly bar looks bearish. So it would have to come back up over the 50, I think, for it to be considered decent still. My allergies make me sound like I'm crying. All pattern work until stop loss gets hit. That's right. That's exactly right. And that's the philosophy everyone should have, is that it's all about probability. You need to increase your probability of being correct because no one is 100% correct. That is absolutely correct. He says while saying that no one is absolutely correct. I have been streaming for 3 hours, so if you have any last questions, let me know. I am gonna continue managing this trade, and it'll probably be closed in a loss at some point. I'm gonna watch it, but I might end the stream here. If you have some more questions, send them along, and then we go from there. Are stop hunts or liquidity grabs a real thing? See, not for retail, because unless your broker is doing it, because brokers can do it. It's possible to do it as a broker, but in the real market, from a retail trader perspective, no, because they can't see your stops. MetaTrader 4 stop orders are market orders. They're not a pending order, right? But I guess institution to institution who can see limits and how much a limit is being protected, they could assume that the stop is on the other side, so they try and push through it. So it's entirely possible. But from a retailer's perspective, the only person who can stop punt you is a broker, because unless you're using some platform that sends the order directly into the market as a pending order, but I don't know of anyone who actually does that. So it's possible, but yeah, as a retailer, your stops, if they're hunted, is only hunted by your broker, not by the market itself. Lost 5 minutes of the hourly bar. And just to clarify that, we don't stop hunt people. It would hurt us to do it, so we don't do it. But if you think of broker like Iron FX, who they're bust, they used to do it. A lot of brokers that have gone bust, like Interbank FX, FXLQ, Refco, they used to do it. Why would they target limits? Because if someone has stops, let's say the level is 1.1300, let's say that level, and someone's has really heavy limits there, then an algorithm might go, okay, let's poke those limits to see if there's stops on the other side of them, which would then run the market, because that means market orders pile in. So if those limits have a stop on the other side, for example, or that person is protecting their stops, then you can run the stops. But that's a stop hunt in a different sense. It's not purposely targeting an individual trader. You're actually, it's like a liquidity stop hunt. You're like bearish, you have size, okay, there's some limits there, let's see how big those limits are overall and whether there are stops on the other side. If you hit the limits and start hitting those limits and they pull the limits, then there's no stops on the other side, but the market will still fall through. If you push the limits and you eat the limits and there are stops on the other sides, the market will accelerate in that direction, as those stops are market orders in that direction. So it's like you'll see wicks when they poke prices. It's like a pin bar, right? Pin bar is that someone's pushed limits to a certain price, but they weren't able to push through them. So the algos target liquidity, definitely. That's not even an argument. Definitely there are ways, they identify buying patterns and stuff like that, and they just run them. They push. It's predatory in its nature, but not illegal. And it is why you get big breakout moves, which is very important. Because if the market didn't have big breakout moves, it would be boring, wouldn't it? My phone is buzzing, my Discord is buzzing, my server is buzzing. Someone has 200 lots of NASDAQ sell open. They might get lucky. Target to get filled or just to accelerate price and direction. It's so like, if you're a quant fund and you're basing your strategy, and like this is out of even my league by far. I'm not a PhD, so I don't, especially in math. But I can assume that from a basic perspective, what you would do is you would make your own trade, right? You'd cut it into thousands of little pieces and you'd buy or sell those pieces, hold them as a single trade, and then you would use larger trades to find the best price lower to increase your profit on those trades. And one way to do that would be by testing limits and pushing them. And if those limits don't budge, then you would close all your trades and then the market would rebound back, right? That's my perspective on it. And you know, it's a very simpleton version of it, but I would assume that that would be a basic overview on how they would do it. The real question would be how they push the trades and the method they use, and how they accumulate their own position without being noticed. So if they do those two things, which takes proper science and math to do it, then I can understand why you would test limits and try and run stops. Because then it would increase your profit on your trade and someone else is paying for it on the other side. That's just assumptions though. Can this be seen? You could just look at a pin bar, you could assume that that's what it is, right? This bar here, for example, someone had limits here, someone pushed at it, they couldn't get through it, it came back. Right? You could assume that's what that bar says. These are like small versions of it. Here's another one. They tried to push it up. The person selling had limits. Down it goes. They protected their limits and the limits pushed it down. What that person does it after that, I don't know, but that would be a very, very, very simple and non-scientific episode of what happens there. My assumption would be that someone pushing limits or stop hunting, as you call it, is pretty evident in charts by the price action bars, like these big wick bars. I think that's because, for example, even this bar, even though they lost that battle, these limits are filling this wick. So the sellers are just hitting it, and these limits kind of won that moment, but then more sellers came in and it just sort of killed it, right? So you can make some assumptions. This is not scientific fact, but you can make some assumptions that that's how it worked. So how do they protect their limits? They hit market. They hit the other side of the order book. So they hit the sell limits if they're buying, to protect their limits. And the way that, again, from a basic perspective, if someone sees someone hitting market with the same size as the limits, but the limits are not going down in size because limits are published, right? You can see in the order book limits. Then you would want to get away from those limits. You want to close your trade because they're going to protect those limits. And you don't want to be on the other side of the receiving end of that, right? I should contact a bookmaker and say, look, can you make a betting book on whether or not I will make money on a trade? So every time I make trade, people can gamble on it, because at this point in time, you never know. Is D Hang here still? Haven't heard much from him today. Come on, Dow. You can do it. All the way. Oh, my allergies. Are those limits the same in the No. Commitment of traders is like open positions. It's where people have their positions opened already. I know that some people trade on that, and I know that people can be successful with that. I never found a way for it to work for me, but I know that other people do, so it's an interesting report nevertheless. I kind of feel obliged now that my trade's back in profit to stay on the stream, but I've kind of used most of my day up. And you need to request payout. I'm sure. Let me see here. Here's my thing. I am going to close the stream to get some work done. Again, thank you everyone for sticking around and chatting, and I hope you all have a great day and your trading is going well. I will be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern again, and at 5 p.m. Eastern for our meeting, which I hope you all join. I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer. I think this trade is going to go well. I'm going to manage it. You've seen me open it, so you know that I can't do any shenanigans with it, but let's see how it goes. You can keep an eye on it yourselves too on your own chart. I will be increasing my stop loss to break even when I am up 40 points. So when this says 4,000. So you can make the assumption that if it comes back after going up 40, I've been stopped out at break even. So on top of that, you guys have a great day, and